NCAA Regional. Bruins fresh off an 18th Pac-12 championship. Familiar territory for a squad that's won 22 regional titles. Oh, four-time National Coach of the Year, Miss Val from UCLA joins us here on Pac-12 Network. Coach, it's a thrill for me. I feel like you've been ducking me for a while, and for good reason, maybe. I don't know. But obviously, congratulations on winning a Pac-12 championship. It's a situation and a position you guys have been before. But tell me the stress that's involved, because this was actually fairly tight. You guys were trailing, maybe not the start you were hoping for. What's it like for you knowing there's so much pressure on the back half of the meet for your girls to perform?
Well, it was pressure, and it was, I should say it was stressful, but actually it wasn't stressful because, you know, I think when you've coached as long as I have, you just realize there's some things that are not in your control. But we had very uncharacteristic bars. It was our second event, and going into the third event, we were actually in third place. And I just gathered the team together, and I love the character of this team because they really do gymnastics. They compete because they love the sport, they love the challenge, and they love doing it together. They're a very tight team. And so I just gathered them together. I said, we're going to Balance Beam, and we're going to leave there with no regrets. So let's go big, beautiful gymnastics. Let's perform on that little 4-inch platform up there, and let's walk out of here with our heads held high. And that kind of just snapped him out of it. It was really cool.
Well, I was going to ask you about your coaching philosophy. I'm sure I don't want to give away what's coming in your book, Life is Too Short, but you told me what your message was to your team in a moment like that. Generally speaking, do you adjust the message? I mean, you said you know kind of the character of this particular team, but is it rah-rah in some other instances? Is it just stay calm, stay the course? Like, how do you approach a situation like that in a critical moment when a championship is on the line?
You know, it's really about knowing your athletes. And sometimes, if I feel like they need to get a little bit more serious, I'll just look them in the eye and I'll say, do you want it? And that kind of snaps them up, and they look me in the eye and they go, yeah. And I said, then go get it. Nobody's going to hand it to you. Other times we just talk about do norm. Just do normal. You don't have to be better than what you have been. You know, just do normal. And in this case, it was, I am all about performance because that's where I came from. Our sport is called artistic gymnastics, and there is a performance quality to it. And I absolutely 100% believe that when they add that performance to their competitiveness, that's when they get into that sweet spot and that zone that enables them to be their best. And that's where I was hoping that we could get them to going into Balance Beam, and they certainly did because they just crushed it.
All right, fine-tuning regionals right around the corner. You go from having a great regular season to winning the conference crown and the championship about a week or so ago. Now the regionals are awaiting UCLA. Give me a sense of the difference between the different stages of the season, because now you already got the Pac-12 championship in the rearview mirror. How do you make sure that the team is mentally prepared for winning a national championship?
Well, actually, I came home after Pac-12s, and I'm sure some of you viewers know that I'm married to Bobby Field, who was our defensive coordinator with football here for 24 years. So it's nice being married to another coach. And I came home and he said, this was perfect. The fact that you did not have a perfect meet and going into spring break is going to get them so much more dialed in this week than had they had a great meet. It would have been hard to get them motivated to really want to train and get better. So going into regionals, first of all, I don't know why it's called regionals because it really is the first round of the national championships. There will be 6 teams there, and you've got to finish in the top 2 to move on to the next round. And so that's where we're going, and we're going to Ohio State. It's really exciting to go out there. There's going to be a lot of Bruins that have already contacted me, so they're going to show up. And we just look to continue to get 1% better. That's our motto, that's our goal. Every day, let's just get 1% better, emotionally, mentally, and physically. And, you know, we've had 10 meets. We're ranked number 3 in the country, and we still haven't put 4 events back to back to back to back together in 4 great events in any one competition. And so I just feel like we're right on track to really make a big, bold statement in this postseason.
All right, Coach, you kind of opened the door for me. Is it cool if we get personal here for a second?
Please.
Okay. What you mentioned your husband, and obviously the football ties. I remember seeing you on the football field with Jim Moore's squad coaching the
Yes.
team and having some fun with it. Can you explain to me, when you have two coaches that are married that understand the nuances of the job, what's pillow talk like for you? I've asked other people this question before, but is it X's and O's? Is it just like a co-pay situation where you're just talking about some of the ups and downs of the season?
Well, quite honestly, it's considering our sports are so vastly different. It's pretty funny. He used to call the vault, which is called a Yurchenko. He used to call that I want them to do that Chernobylinka, and I was like, what are you talking about? And when we first got married, he was a defensive coordinator, and I was like, why don't you just call the play where the defensive back goes out, intercepts the ball, and then runs it back for a touchdown? It works every time you call it. Call that play. So I told him the other day, I said, my next life, I want to coach a sport where I can have a whistle. And he's like, well, great, you can have a whistle, but you can't have it during the games. I was like, oh, okay. That is as insane as our conversation it usually is.
Coach, you've been at UCLA long enough and you've done enough in your career. You can bring a whistle at your own practices and no one's going to bat an eye.
I know. I want a whistle.
You do whatever you want to do. Coach, before we let you get going, I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you about Peng Peng Lee, who has been a staple on Sports Report. I feel like every time we do our 12 Bet segment, she is doing something spectacular. Perfect 10. I think there's 4 on the season for her, 8 in her career, whatever the number is. Besides her ability, because it's extraordinary, and we've seen that on full display here on Pac-12 Network, what makes her special away from gymnastics?
It is literally that light inside of her, and that sense of fun and that gratitude is, she wakes up with that. And if you meet her parents are that. They're such positive people. There's not 1 ounce of not positivity in them, in her family, and her brother, and her parents. I've known her since she was 10, and she's always been like this. She just auditioned. I'm crafting a new show for SeaWorld San Diego, and it's all hip-hop dancers and singing and all that. And she just auditioned for the headliner, to be the headliner of the show. And she went down, she had to rap, and then they asked her to freestyle. And the producer, when we released her, the producer and the director said, well, I'm the director, whatever. Producer said, can she maintain that level of exuberance for 5 or 6 nights a week? I was like, no. That's all you ever see. She's never not like that. And so to be able to have that, I mean, we train every morning at 7:45 in the morning. She has that culture of our team of being fun is what they are. That's just what they are. That's not Showtime. That's what they are. And it's led by Peng.
Well, she has done a terrific job for you at UCLA. 7:45 is certainly early. I'm having dreams about doing the things that some of the people on your team are able to accomplish. I'm more of a night owl myself. But Coach, I really do appreciate the time. I'm glad you stopped ducking me. Can't wait to check out the new book that is coming out. It's Life is Short, Can't Wait to Dance. I got that right?
Life is short, don't wait to dance.
Don't wait to dance.
And you got to say it like with that little pause. It's like, life is short. Don't wait to dance.
For effect. I like it.
Yeah.
If you saw my dance moves, you tell me to continue to wait to dance. Coach, appreciate
it's a metaphor.
Coach, appreciate you stopping by with us. Best of luck in regionals.
Thank you.